Hi everyone, so in this video we're going to talk about how we can calculate vector components in given directions, such as in the direction parallel to or perpendicular to other vectors, so not in the normal x, y components. So just a quick recap, if we typically have a vector, let's say the vector A, when we express what this vector is, we often express it in terms of its x and y components. So this would be my x component and this would be my y component, and you'll often see that written as a column vector like that. Okay, that's our typical way of expressing vectors, but what if we want to express it in a slightly different way? So if instead I redraw this same vector A, but instead of expressing the x and y components, I'm going to draw another vector b. So let's say this green vector is the vector b. And maybe what I'm interested in is the components of A in the direction of b. So if you imagine I sort of extend out the direction of b, it's given by that dashed line, and also perpendicular to b. So if I draw a diagram to represent that, it's going to look something like this. I've got the perpendicular, and so let's label these components. So let's switch color again. This thing here, this orange section, is going to be the component of A in the direction of B. And if I switch, I'm going to draw this pink component here. This is going to be the component of A perpendicular to B. Okay, and you'll probably recognize that we've got some right angle triangles, so I'm going to be interested in using trigonometry, and the angle between the vectors A and B, theta, is going to be relevant. Okay, so first of all, I want to write down some initial relationships from this diagram. So let's zoom in slightly. Okay, thinking about the orange vector, so in the component of A in the direction of B, well, this is the running along the adjacent side of my right angle triangle, so I can write an expression using cosine of theta. So if I'm imagining this now no longer as vectors, but just as a right angle triangle, so I'm only interested in the vector magnitudes, so cosine of theta is going to be equal to, well, that's going to be adjacent over hypotenuse, so the component of A in the direction of B divided by the hypotenuse, and because I'm just interested in the length of this hypotenuse, I'm just going to call that the magnitude of A. Okay, I can do something very similar with sine theta. So if I now write sine theta, this is opposite over hypotenuse, so my opposite side in this case is this side here, this the component of A perpendicular to B. And I'm going to divide that by the magnitude of A, which is the hypotenuse, as we said before. Okay, let's rearrange both of these slightly. So I have the components that I'm looking for as the subject of each of these expressions. And for the component of A in the direction of B, that's going to be the magnitude of A cos theta. Okay, great. So straight away, I've got two expressions that tell me how to find the component of the vector A in the direction of some other vector B, and the component of A perpendicular to some other vector B. But both of these are in terms of the angle between them, theta. Maybe I don't know that angle theta, so I'm going to need to note down some formulae that you'll have seen previously in your course. So I want something that involves cosine of theta. So let's make a note. We have the dot product. So the dot product, what does the dot product tell us? The dot product tells us that the dot product between two vectors is equal to the magnitude of A times the magnitude of B times cosine of theta, and therefore we can rearrange to find an expression of theta for cos theta. So cos theta is equal to A dot B over the magnitude of A times the magnitude of B. I also want to do a similar thing, find some way to create an expression for sine theta. What do we already know based on what you've seen on the course? Well, you'll have already seen the cross product or the scalar product. So let's make a note of this formula. The scalar product, we have a couple of different formulae for it that all give us the same thing, but something that involves sine theta that will be particularly useful is the modulus of the cross product between two vectors. You know, is given by magnitude of A times the magnitude of B times sine of theta. Great, we can rearrange that for sine of theta. So sine of theta is equal to the magnitude of A cross B divided by the magnitude of A times the magnitude of B. Okay, great. So now I've got expressions for cosine theta and sine theta just in terms of the vectors A and B, which is useful if we don't know the angle between the two vectors. So we're going to go ahead and substitute the expression, first of all, for the dot product that we rearranged to find an expression for cos theta into our initial expression for the component, of the vector A in the direction of B. So we can say the component of A in the direction of B is going to be magnitude of A, as we had before, and then instead of cos theta, I'm going to write the dot product over magnitude of A times magnitude of B. So that's just substituting this expression here straight into there. Okay, well, we can see that we've got a magnitude of A and a magnitude of A that will cancel out. So my component of the vector A in the direction of B is just going to be A dot B divided by the magnitude of B. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the right-hand side. So I'm going to take this expression for sine theta, and I'm going to substitute it straight into my expression for the component of A perpendicular to B. So component of A perpendicular to B is magnitude of A times by sine theta, which is this circled expression. So the magnitude of A cross B divided by the magnitude of A times the magnitude of B. And again, just like before, we can see, let's lower that a little bit, we can see that we've got this magnitude of A here. It's going to cancel out with this magnitude of A here. So we just get the magnitude of A cross B divided by the magnitude of B. So we've done what we needed to do. We now have our two formulae for how we find the component of a vector A parallel to another vector B, so this expression on the left, or perpendicular to that vector B. On the MAI HL course, you are not given these formulae in your formulae booklet, and they are worth knowing, and they are also incredibly worth understanding and being able to talk through the proof for. So you should be familiar with both forms of the formulae that we've circled in the box down here, and also the simpler versions. In fact, let's add those on just so it's super clear. Depending on the information you have, either we've shown that these are equal, so either of these versions of the formulae may be useful. Okay, so there we have the key takeaways.